For the first time, we're getting a look at a spacecraft that will soon be on its way to the sun. NASA expects it to come within 3.7 million miles of our nearest star. And that may not sound very close, but consider this, the Earth is 100 million miles away. So why do scientists even want to study the sun? Weijia Zhang has the story.
NASA engineers are putting the final touches on the Parker Solar Probe, the spacecraft set to travel closer to the sun than any other in history.
We've had to wait 60 years for technology to catch up with our dreams.
Lead scientist Dr. Nikki Fox has many burning questions, like why the sun's atmosphere is hotter than its surface, unlike any other body in the solar system.
It's like breaks the laws of nature. You walk away from a campfire, you do not get warmer, you normally get colder. Not in the corona.
Researchers also want to learn more about solar wind, which helps predict space weather.
Satellite systems are affected by space weather. Energy grids are affected by space weather, particularly in the northern latitudes. Trying to understand those effects is very important.
One of the biggest challenges is making sure the spacecraft doesn't melt as it approaches the sun. Scientists have developed a heat shield made out of carbon that will sit on top and function like a baseball cap.
It's just indescribable to see the joy of seeing it all come together.
Betsy Congdon leads the team that designed the heat shield over the past decade, finding a way to withstand a temperature of 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
Putting a bunch of different tests that we actually did all over the country together, we can show that the heat shield actually will work and perform like we think it will at the sun.
NASA plans to launch the Parker at the end of July, arriving to the sun's corona in 12 weeks, shining new light on a bright star. Weijia Zhang, CBS News, Greenbelt, Maryland.
The mission is expected to last about 7 years, and in that time, the Parker Solar Probe will make 24 orbits around the sun, even fly by Venus 7 times. NASA also discussing the upcoming launch of their new survey satellite. The Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite is a NASA Explorer mission expected to launch April 16th to planets orbiting stars outside our solar system. Tests will discover thousands of exoplanets in orbit around the brightest stars in the sky.
TESS is going to look for planets around other stars by watching the slight dip in brightness of the star as the planet passes in front of it.
NASA will use the satellite to study characteristics like their atmospheric composition and whether they should still support life. While NASA prepares to launch new devices into space, the Chinese government preparing for one to return to Earth. China abandoned its space station in 2016, and since then it's been losing altitude and is falling to Earth. It's expected to strike somewhere between 43 degrees north, 43 degrees south early next month. That includes most of the U.S. Fortunately, scientists say there's not much to worry about.
So the chances of a piece of this thing hitting somebody on Earth are pretty slim.
Very slim.
Very slim.
But not zero.
Chances of being hit from space debris from the Chinese space station about 1 million times smaller than the odds of winning the Powerball jackpot. At this point, we know within plus or minus 2 days of April the 1st, it's likely to re-enter. All right, Garrett's back with a final check of this rainy forecast next.
Coming up, the Russian investigation reveals the closest links ever between Trump campaign officials and Russian intelligence. Plus, Facebook says it will change privacy settings to protect your personal data. Coming up on the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor.